guys are
Hi
welcome.
guys,
Hello guys, welcome
good
to Anne
evening.
Collection.
So I want to start the face now. I want to start by shaping the eyebrow. So you remove the excess of the eyebrow to make the eyebrow neat, to make it stand out. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll be using sweat block. The adventure is very good, very good. So you have to make sure it's well blended. Like if I want to do a bridal makeup and I use glams sorry if, and I use the adventure sweat block to stay longer, like no, it's very good. Very, make sure you it get dry before applying anything again. Then I'm using glam girls. Is it works for three things. Even if I don't want to use the sweat block, it's fine because it has moisturizer, it has vitamin C serum, and it has the sweat block or oil block. No, it works for three things. So if I don't want to use the sweat block, I can use this only. So but me, I want the makeup to stay longer and last like for 24 hours. So that's why I use the sweat block before this. So you make sure it's well blended and make sure it get dry before applying anything. It's very good too, very good. Then I'll be using face primer. I use Becca for my face primer. Becca is good though, it's very good. So you blend it together. Then I'm using Noban Beauty in my skin color. So in Noban Beauty my skin color is like color 1. It's very light, very light. That's why I mix the three colors to give me the perfect color. So the other colors is a little bit darker. It's like color 3. So if I can't use the color 1 for her because it will be lighter than her skin. So that's why I mixed it with the other two color. That's Bounce This Way and Processed Goldsmith. So you have to blend it very well. You have to blend it very well, very well. You make sure it's well blended. And I'm using Avon foundation for the contour in the shade of 20. It's like, let's say, color 4. So for the contour you have to follow the hairline of the face, then you blend it very well. You make sure it's well blended. Make sure it's well blended. You have to blend it very well. And blend the nose too. Start from the under eyebrow. Same thing. The other side. Then you blend it with your beauty blender. You make sure it's well blended. Then you blend it all together. Then I'm using Blossom Concealer and Nuban Beauty in my skin. That's the lighter shade, like color 2. Color 1 and color 2. So you apply it on the lighter area where you want your highlighting to be. So that's what I'm doing. Then you have to blend. Not even blending, you dab. You have to dab it. Dab it. You have to make sure it's well blended. You have to blend it. Follow the line. You have to blend very well. Make sure you have to blend very well. Make sure it's well blended. You have to blend very well. You have to blend it very well. You make sure it's well blended. To blend it very well. You have to make sure it's well blended. You have to blend the concealer very well. You have to blend it in. Blending is more important, so you have to blend it very well. You have to blend it very well. You can see I'm blending. So you have to blend very well. You have to blend very well. So it's time for setting. So I'm using Flawless Eye. So I'm using Beauty by AD setting powder to set the face too on the lighter area. Please, I use the lighter powder I use just to set the face. After the powder I use from the Flawless Ivy. So I'm using Lady V powder, the shade I use for the contour. That's what I'm using for the nose contour. You start from the under eyebrow. You make sure your hand is very straight. You make sure your hand is very straight. You can't use a very darker color on her face because she's fair. So you have to use not too dark, because some products don't really have name. They ask like numbers. So that's why I'm using like color 3 as a sample. So color 3 is not too dark for her to do it. So I'm using it to set the face, the light area. I'm using the lighter color on the light area. So I'm using the lighter color shade on the light area to set the face. I have to blend it very well. Not too much powder, just to set the face. You can see how I'm blending. You have to blend it very well. So you have to blend very well. You can see how I'm blending it. So you have to blend it very well. I'm trying to adjust that part. You have to blend it very well. Not too much. So I'm using the same powder for the face, all over the face. I'm using the milk color to set the face, to set all over the face, not the lighter color, the client's normal color for the face. I'm using the Flawless too. And I'm using Avon foundation for the contour. So guys, I'm using the DV palette for the contour. I'm using one of the dark color inside the palette. So you have to follow the hairline, the place you apply your wet contour. You have to like touch it with a little bit powder, not too dark because she's fair. So I'm using like color 3 for her. So that's what I'm doing. You have to blend it in. You have to blend it very well. You have to blend it very well. So that's what I'm doing right now. Keep watching. So I'm using the one of the powder to blend the face. So I'm using this to bake. It's like RCM, but this one is cheaper, so I can use RCM to bake. You have to bake the face very well. Then I'm using carrot gel for the eyebrow. It's very nice too. I mean, I don't use pencil, I use gel because it stay longer. It's very dry, so I'm mixing the black and brown together. So you have to be very careful with the eyebrow. There's no time for correcting, so you have to be very careful. You have to draw it very well. Follow the hairline. When you get to the arc, you bring it down. That's brow bone. You bring it down. You don't need to draw big brows because there won't be time for you to be correcting. So you have to like draw the normal size brows, and you have to be very careful because you won't be correcting too much here, so you have to be very careful. Assuming you want to draw the eyebrow before the foundation and powder starts, and that one you can draw anything, then you correct. But this one you can't be correcting like that, so you have to be very careful with the brow. Then you brush it out. Brush it out. You can see the eyebrow is not too big like that, so you have to follow the hairline, then draw it. Same thing at the other side. So you have to follow the line, then draw. So I want to use the Pro Trimmer from the Cindy's Croatia. It's very nice too and very affordable. So just to adjust the eyebrow. Then I'm using Pro Concealer to highlight, to correct the eyebrow. You don't really need too much concealer on the face, just for you to trace it, not too much concealer. So just you have to follow the eyebrow line. You make a straight line. That's done. Then the second one, follow the brow line, like you make a straight line. When you get to the arc side, you bring it down. So you don't really need too much correcting here, because you've already done your foundation, powder, highlighting. So you don't really need too much correcting on the eyebrow. So you have to draw the eyebrow perfectly, then correct, not too much correcting. So just try to make it perfect, because I have to be very careful about the brow. So so guys, I'm using Benign eyeshadow primer, Clove White, for the lid. So use your hand to smoothen it. You smooth it with your hand. So I'm using Blossom Shadow Palette. I'll be using the white shade first. There's no white there. So I want to go on matte shadow. So then I'll be using pink shade on the lid. You have to struggle with it, just dab. and I'm using brown color for the contour, inner crease. But you won't get to the inner crease. You start from outer crease to the brow bone. Brow bone. You have to blend it very well. So I'm using orange to blend the front. Then you top the whites again. Then you blend it. Then you blend it, the fat. So I'll be using carrot, black carrot for the liner. And if you see the under, you see white stuffs. You have to shade the normal lash with the black one, so that when you put your lashes, those colors won't show from down. So you have to shade the under lashes with black. You can use your mascara, you can use your liner, anyone. So I'm using Mismetic lashes. So can you see? Can you see? You can't see any white things under. Can you see? And you press it. So some people use tweezer, but I can't use it. So I prefer to use my hand than tweezer. So I'm using. So I'll be using the same gel just to perfect the liner, and for the front too, perfect the liner. Then I'll be using orange mixed with pink for the under eye. For under eye, same thing. So I'll be using mascara, normal random mascara. It doesn't really have a name, just random one. They sell it 1.5, so just to bring the eyelashes down, lashes, just to bring it out. Then I'm using the white Benna Glow White for the under. So I'll be using the same gel. So guys, I'll be blending my face with Lady B powder palette. That's very good. That powder is very good. So you don't have to use too much of powder again, because there is powder on the face already. So just have to use some powder to dust the face, not too much. Then you blend it very well. You blend it very well. Blend it very well. So I'll be touching my contour with normal powder palette, Lady V, for the darker area. Then I'll be using orange shade in Blossom shadow palette for the blush. I actually love this particular color. It looks amazing on fair people. So it's very nice. I prefer using orange for blush. So then I'll be using spray. That's Kiss Beauty spray. It's very nice and it's not expensive. I think it's 1.5 or 1,000. I think it's very nice. Very nice. Make sure you get dry. Make sure you get dry before doing anything. So I'll be using my, that's Fina lipstick, that's flawless lipstick. Then there's one random this thing, it's like lip gloss, so that's brown from Fina. This is just random, it's like lip gloss, so you blend it together like lip gloss. Then you follow the line, the lip line. You have to be very careful. Then you make a straight line. You make a straight line. You have to be very careful. That's flawless lipstick. You have to blend. You can't make it dry before blending. I used to blend very well. You have to blend immediately. So if you're having difficulty blending lipstick, if you want to use any color for lining, you can mix it with lip gloss, so that if you want to blend, it will be easy for you to blend. You understand? So that's what I do every time. So if I want to use maybe a wine or any other color for the lining, so I mix it with lip gloss first, so that it will be easy for me to blend. You know, some lipstick get dry easily, so once you blend it with lip gloss, it will be very easy for you to blend. So lip gloss, it will be easy for you to blend. Then I'll be using the benign face primer for the major. To blend very well. And I'm using Fenty lip gloss. You can use you can use all those white lip gloss too. So then you correct it with your angle brush. And again, it will be easy to correct if you mix your lip gloss with your liner. Hey, you understand? Because most people don't really use pencil to line. They use normal lipstick to line. So once you mix it with your lip gloss, it will be easy for you to blend, and it will be easy for you to correct. Hey, you understand? So some lipstick is very stubborn. So that will be easy for you to do. Then you blend it. So I'm using cheek gloss. It's like wet bronzer for the cheek. It's actually good. You don't need to use much on the face, just for it to like pop the face. You understand, sir? And it's very good. It's very, very good. Then use your brush to dab it so that the oiling will not be too much. That bronzer is just normal bronzer. They sent it to me from the US, so, and it's actually good, very good. I'm using the white one for the front, just to make it pop. That's Younger Beauty bronzer. So I'm using it after the one I use to pop the face. So I'm using the Younger Beauty too for the front side. So that's all for today.
We've come to the end of this video. If you know you've not subscribed, please subscribe, leave your honest opinion, your genuine comment. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Share this video with your family or friends, and please let this video go viral. Bye. Mwah.